I'm Crazy Bob, and you're trapped in my junkyard.
We've got to use the junk to build a flying jalopy. We've got to get out of here.
And let's blow up that Crazy Bob too, huh?
Junkyard Pinball FX Review and Guide. Hello, I am the many-talented Mr. Jefferson, and I am here to talk about the second table in the Pinball FX Williams Collection 1 in this table review and guide. The first table was a Medieval Madness, because why not start off with a god-tier table right off the bat? And the third table in the pack that I will discuss is High Speed 2, the Getaway. Because it's a really cool table with a pretty straightforward rule set, so I figured it would be a great follow-up to one of the strangest tables in the Williams collection. There is nothing particularly strange about the table layout or really the rule set. It's just everything else about this table that makes you feel like you just stepped out of the magic bus. Let me try to explain the story of the table before I explain what this table actually is and why it's so fucking weird. You presumably play as an engineer, possibly even one specializing in making pinball tables, who gets trapped in a junkyard by the junkyard's owner, Crazy Bob. You must explore the junkyard to locate components to build a variety of machines to help you escape the junkyard while being advised by an angel and a devil and being chased by a junkyard dog who you have to stop from attacking some random chick in a shower. Anyways, you have to shoot toast at a dog to save this random woman and possible love interest who keeps taking showers while this crazed junkyard dog is still trying to chomp her on the ass. So maybe she knows the hippies who also seem to just live in the junkyard? Question mark? Anyway, you build a variety of blueprints to escape, but first you must chase Crazy Bob into space to defeat him once and for all. Okay, so this table makes absolutely no sense, and I haven't even mentioned the time machine, which sends you on missions that are references from other pinball tables, and includes one table that didn't even exist at the time, and still doesn't. But the time machine does go a long way to explaining what this table actually is, and it is a love letter to the recent history of pinball at the time. The table music is Money, What I Want, which has an appropriately bizarre music video by a band called The Flying Lizards, who are a British eccentric avant-garde band, which basically means anything that they performed was just plain fucking weird, which suits this table perfectly.
Money don't get everything, it's true. What it don't get, I can't use. I want money.
So, the concept of this table seems to be, what if we took apart a bunch of old pinball machines and made a new table out of the pieces? Which is actually how some pinball tables were made, with leftover parts. Table design is interesting, and you will find out weird information about tables, like how Medieval Madness was supposed to have a plunger to launch the ball, and the only reason it's a launch button instead was because it allowed them to save $5, which they then spent on the dragon toy instead. There are references to other tables all over the place in Junkyard. One of them seems to be a reference to Arabian Nights, with the Great Jalopy Race substituting for the Great Camel Race, and the Time Machine has more direct references like the Mamushka from the Addams Family table. I had found an interview with the table designer Barry Ausler where he confirmed that the theme of the game was originally meant to mix pieces of older tables together, like the toys and ramps, but that really didn't work out because those were designed for a specific table layout. So it became more about the kinds of things you would find in an actual junkyard. And there were some very interesting insights into the design process, because Barry Ausler designed the layout of the table using CAD or computer assisted design, but other elements and the personality of the table seems to have come from the artist and the programmer. So that weird mishmash of an angel and a devil and hippies and the random girl showering in the Save the Girl video mode and Run from Spike video mode relate back to this concept of reusing parts from old pinball tables, because the angel and the devil are direct references to the table Whodunit, and the angel's image and the devil's voice were featured on that table, and the angel's voice is the Candy 2000 from Safecracker in the Williams Pack 3. The showering girl is a reference to Creature from the Black Lagoon's Save the Girl mode, and there is a reference to Theater of Magic, also from Williams Pack 3, which has a Midnight Madness multi-ball, but on Junkyard it's a much more
Radar
literal
adventure.
Midnight Madness, because if you are playing at the stroke of midnight, the table will stop what it's doing, let the balls drain, and then start a Midnight Madness multi-ball, which is not accessible in any other way. You have to play at midnight. Honestly, I would have saved this table for the end of the Williams table guides because it's one massive reference to the past tables, but I decided to stick with the order the games are sold in the store, which also placed Medieval Madness at the very top of the list instead of as the final video as I had originally planned it, because it is such an iconic table. However, since this is the second reviewing guide, it's a good chance to introduce you to the other tables coming in future reviews referenced in the Junkyard table, which acts like a bit of a pinball museum with a batshit crazy story to tie it all together. So let's get this adventure started by looking at the flipper layout. Here we have a very standard 2 flipper layout with 2 slingshots above the flippers in the usual place, and 2 in lanes with rollovers, and 2 out lanes equipped with a ball recycle feature, which will send the ball back to the plunger when it's active. This is one of the few tables where draining in an out lane is incredibly useful. The in-lane rollovers will activate a crane hurry-up when they are lit, and rollovers can be lit by smashing the car targets in the center of the table. The slingshots depict an angel and a devil who will speak to you, and the last slingshot you hit will determine which one of them is going to talk to you at any given moment. On either side of the table are the recycle targets. Lighting all 3 targets will light recycle on that side of the table, which is like a kickback, but it is way better because it sends the ball back to the plunger for another ball launch award, which can help you collect junk or fireworks, or an extra ball. This is a fantastic feature. On the left side of the table, above the recycle targets, is the toilet ramp. The first time you hit the toilet ramp, you will be able to select a piece of junk. The rules for relighting select junk are kind of unclear to me, but if you hit the hippie ramp to the right of the toilet ramp after selecting a piece of junk, it will relight select junk, and I believe this is tied to a hurry-up. And I also believe the required number of hits on the hippie ramp increases every time you grab your junk on the toilet. But this is also the ramp for window shopping, where you try to stop the light on something useful, or you can get toxic waste. Hitting this ramp when nothing else is lit can also raise the great toilet jackpot, and the toilet appears to be a reused, repurposed Whirlpool toy from Whitewater, which appears in Williams Pack 4. The Magic Bus ramp does a few things. A full pass through the ramp is a bus ride. Every 1st, 4th, and 11th bus ride lights the Magic Bus Random Award. It can relight the toilet ramp prizes and window shopping and select junk. And the random awards can give you junk, a video mode, multi-ball, light time machine, light window shopping, turn on auto fire, which is ball save, recycle, which is better than ball save, or light an extra ball, and occasionally it can award all of the above, which is like totally awesome, man. that's why this is like my favorite ramp ever, dude. And it's not because I spent way too much time in the garage that houses a permanent cloud of the funky stuff, bruh. We're going to slide on past the rather unique centerpiece for this table over to the dog ramp, which has several functions. The first of which is lighting up dog. Once dog is lit, hitting the ramp again will divert the ball into a sinkhole, and the DMD game will start depending on which junk you have collected. The first video mode is Run from Spike, which might be a reference to the pinball table Black Rose, where there is a video mode where you walk the plank and you need to escape a shark to win. In Run from Spike, you also alternate your flipper flips to run from Spike. It's easy, it's nice, it's a great reason to avoid making the toaster gun, which will change the video mode into another pinball table reference, Save the Girl from Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is part of the Universal Monsters pack. Except for in this version of the mode, Spike will chase a girl who had been taking a shower in the middle of a junkyard, and you need to hit him with the toaster gun 3 times to win. This isn't anywhere near as easy as Run from Spike, and since you get a piece of junk when you win, you want the easiest version of this video mode. The toaster gun requires ammunition in the form of, well, toast. And where do you find toast? It's in the sewer. Of course! Why not? The next shot to the left of the dog ramp is the sewer sinkhole, which I believe is a reference to the Addams Family table, which has a swamp sinkhole in nearly the same spot. This sinkhole is where you start modes, you collect extra balls, start the time machine, and for no good reason that I can think of, it's where you find toast. Not even bread, it's already toasted apparently, even though you are the one with the toaster. The time machine is also a reference machine, so I'll wait until after I talk about the middle of the table to list the time machine side modes and those table references. At the center of the table is a unique toy, the Wrecking Ball. Many tables use a captive ball target, and this is probably the most unique captive ball target on any table, because the ball can be hit in multiple directions and can contact the smash targets, and it blocks the shot directly behind it, and it can be raised to allow direct access to the jackpot sinkhole or to start multi-ball, and it's a target for most of the game modes as well. And it's also a sucker shot like every other captured ball target I have ever seen in the existence of pinball, because hitting it at the wrong angle will end your game immediately. But it is a target in some of the modes, so you better learn how to hit this one safely. A little high, a little low, never dead center. To start the table's many modes, you have to collect junk, and looking at the playfield art, you can see what pieces of junk are used to build which schematics, and the Angel and Devil will also advise you which pieces you should collect next. And you should never ever ever listen to the Angel, because she wants you to build the toast gun. The toast gun sucks. Now, I'm going to say something maybe a little controversial about the strategy for collecting the junk. I think maybe the prevailing method is to collect the easier items first, so you can jump into the associated game mode and progress the table faster. But I might have a very, very compelling reason why you should not rush the modes, and that is because during modes, you are hitting the exact same shots you will want to hit to collect junk, but those shots are completing a mode instead. And also, when you complete a schematic, the sewer hole will start a mode instead of awarding toast, which again can be used to shoot the dog and collect more junk. And the best reason I have for dragging out the collection process is because once you collect all of the junk, you will be collecting fireworks instead, and those will give you more time to complete the wizard mode. But if you collect parts and then immediately start the modes, you will not get that opportunity to collect the bonus fireworks, and those fireworks will fuel your ship for the wizard mode. So it makes a hell of a lot more sense to me personally to make sure I have a chance to collect as many fireworks as possible before I start triggering the wizard mode, which means holding off on starting any of the main modes, which means collecting the pieces of junk out of order on purpose. The primary way to collect fireworks is completing main modes, and now it's time to talk about those modes and all of the many references I've seen on this table. To start off with, the hairdryer and the toaster makes the toast gun. Avoid this. The television plus the weather vane will make the radar, starting Radar Adventure, which is a reference to Whirlwind in the Williams pack. I don't know. Did they skip one of them on Steam? Because it looks like it's a standalone table, and there is a mysterious Williams Pack 7, which seems to be missing. And I don't think you can actually buy the pack, but all those tables are currently listed separately. Weird. During Radar Adventure, you will chase lit lanes, which is how you activate the Tornado multi-ball on Whirlwind. The next up is the Jalopy, which is bike tire set, a bathtub, and a fan. The Jalopy is a component in the other vehicles, so if you avoid collecting the bike tires, the bathtub, or the fan, it will delay you from playing the main modes, which again I think is probably a good thing. The Great Jalopy Race seems to be a reference to the Arabian Nights Great Camel Race, and it has you visit every shot on the table to complete the mode. The Arabian Nights table can be found in Williams Collection 5. The Submerger is completed by collecting the Jalopy and the Fishbowl, and that will start the Great Toilet Adventure. This is the only mode that I don't see any real reference for, and I feel like maybe the sound effects for this mode accidentally got swapped up with Radar Adventure, because Radar Adventure plays a sound effect of rats squeaking, which I would have expected from the sewers in Toilet Adventure, and there is an accompanying voice line to the rats that says, "Rats, I hate rats," which is clearly a reference to Indiana Jones, which is another standalone Williams table, but for some reason, Radar Adventure doubled up on the references, and I don't know what the Great Toilet Adventure could be referencing. Probably a table I haven't experienced before. If you collect the Jalopy and the propeller, you can then start Air Tactical Combat, which requires shots on the Wrecking Ball and is a reference to the F-14 table, which is not currently available on Pinball FX yet, but will probably be coming in the future. There is an additional reference in this mode to the Star Trek The Next Generation table, which is another standalone table on Pinball FX, with a call out for evasive maneuvers when you hit the Wrecking Ball. A very standard shout out during any Star Trek episode. And that's all of the modes, but there are still a ton of references in the Time Machine, which will also display the year of the table that it is referencing. The first destination is Night Mission, and it's a reference to the 1999 table that had not been made yet and would never be. This seems to be the default mission if you get the Time Machine and immediately hit the sewer hole to activate it. The Time Machine itself appears to be a reference to Back to the Future. The next destination is straight to the Williams Collection 2 for Attack from Mars, which is the video mode straight out of that table, complete with the cow Easter egg, which will very rarely trigger and change the flying saucers into cows. The next stop is right in front of the movie screen for everyone's favorite mode from the 1993 Creature from the Black Lagoon table, Move Your Car. This mode is referenced in a ridiculous number of tables, and you can find the table in the Universal Monsters pack. and it requires shots straight up the center, similar to the original Move Your Car mode. The final stop on this tour is to the 1992 Addams Family Mansion to dance the Mamushka, which gives a payout for every single target hit, and this mode seems to stack because I somehow managed to start the Mamushka, relight Time Machine, start Move Your Car, and I was still getting the hey when I was hitting the center ball jackpot lane. Speaking of stacking mechanics, I don't think it works with every mode, but it is possible to set up a multi-ball and then start a main mode and collect the multi-ball and use it during that main mode. I don't typically like the multi-ball on this table because it will lock you out from progressing the table, but if you can start a multi-ball inside of a mode, it can make it so much easier to finish and collect all of the fireworks. Once you finish all of the main modes, it's time to chase Crazy Bob to outer space, which may likely be a reference to the, at the time, upcoming Medieval Madness's Battle for the Kingdom. Medieval Madness wouldn't come out for another 2 years, but the Wizard mode is very similar to the multi-ball super jackpot requirement on Attack from Mars, which is directly referenced in Junkyard, and there is a reference to a planned 1999 table, so I find it highly likely that Outer Space could actually be based off of Battle for the Kingdom before it existed, but with an Attack from Mars space theme, because Medieval Madness hadn't come out yet. Nobody would get the reference. Outer Space is a 4-ball multi-ball with a timer based on the number of fireworks collected and a bonus at 20 fireworks where the player must shoot all lanes to complete it. But Bob is busy making this wizard mode a real pain in the ass to complete because he is relighting the lanes that you've already hit. So you're going to have to shoot fast and shoot the same lanes multiple times before Bob goes down. The Wrecking Ball and the Toaster Target will award extra fireworks to extend the fight. Fun fact, I didn't even realize the Toaster Target existed until just now, but it can be used to exchange toast for fireworks at the rate of 5 pieces of toast for 1 firework, presumably from the starving hippies living in the magic bus, because munchies are the most powerful force on Earth. And that's the table. Junkyard is a very strange table from its story to its rules, and it's a bit of a punishing table with some decently narrow shots, which can make it a struggle for beginners who won't know enough about the references to the other tables to be impressed by them, and I really struggled with this guide too. It's the reason it took me so long to finish any of the Williams Pack 1 guides. I struggled to make the shots at first, I struggled to understand the goals of the table, and even after I hit a double wizard mode, I struggled with writer's block right around the time I got to describing the dog ramp, and I kept opening the script and finding literally anything else to do, so I put the whole project on the back burner for a while. It wasn't because I couldn't beat the wizard mode. That didn't bother me at all, but for some reason, I just kind of stalled out while writing Junkyard, and it worked out in my favor because that meant that the Medieval Madness guide was delayed until the new Brian Eddy Dungeons & Dragons The Tyrant's Eye table was announced, which is exactly the perfect time to release that review and guide, and my friends got hooked on Spider-Man, and I managed to figure that table out and banged out a guide for that table in just 2 or 3 days, and I released that yesterday as of writing this, and I finally sat down and finished the Junkyard guide, and as is customary for me, I decided to play a warm-up game to refresh my memory a bit, and then I remembered that the dog's collar says the initials of the last player who collected all of the pieces of junk, so I went back to play another game so I could rename the dog to Ass, because why wouldn't I? And I finally had all of the footage I was going to need for this table that I have not beaten once. I just had this conversation twice the night before, one on my live stream and one when I was talking to one of the Spider-Man players where I mentioned that I didn't feel like I actually needed to beat Crazy Bob on Junkyard to finish the guide because I didn't feel like there was anything else to experience or explain after you actually beat him. So last night, it was true that I had never beaten Crazy Bob. And here we are, the following day, as I finish typing this guide, and it's still true that I have not beaten Crazy Bob a single time. And I'm okay with that. But also mostly okay with that because the game that I'm going to follow this guide with, you know, that warm-up game I played after I opened the text editor to get back to work, yeah, that one, because I beat Crazy Bob. Yeah, I know, I just said I haven't beaten Crazy Bob a single time. And that's actually still true, because when I went back to collect the junk and changed the dog's name to Ass, I decided to finish out that game, and I beat Crazy Bob for a second time. So the period of time where I had only beaten Crazy Bob once exists somewhere between the words where I started explaining the dog ramp and some point before I finished describing the dog ramp, because that's why I paused to get the second reel of footage that I needed for my joke. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but I think Black Knight 2000 has really sharpened my skills, and the rhythm and shot flow on Spider-Man felt so good that I've been trying to figure out the X-Men table, so I guess my skills are just really sharp right now, and another factor may be that I had zero expectations of actually beating the Wizard mode. I literally was just shooting a warm-up game to wake up a little bit before I started writing and to refresh my memory, and then I shot another game with the one and only goal of collecting all of the junk for a joke, and absolutely nothing more. And during both of those Wizard Mode attempts, I was just shooting very casually because it wasn't a serious attempt to beat the table. I literally had not been practicing, and I didn't even realize that I had hit all of my shots when the mode suddenly ended, and the second time I was just thinking, wouldn't it be funny if I beat it twice in the same day? Oh shit, I'm about to beat it twice. Oh shit, I'm about to beat it twice! So I guess it's a good thing I procrastinated, because it's another weirdly happy ending to the Williams Pack 1 reviews, and that's going to continue with the Getaway because I'm really glad I didn't write that review until after I got to play the Black Knight 2000, and you will find out why in that review and guide, which will be coming out very soon. It's already written. Editor Jefferson here. I was finishing editing the video when I noticed I had accidentally deleted the Midnight Madness game footage that I had recorded in my perpetual struggle to make more space on my hard drive, and this was the last footage I needed to finish this video. And after getting the footage, I decided to finish out that game, and I beat Bob for a third time this week. The footage that has been playing in the background is the double outer space wizard mode, where I failed to beat Bob twice in one game, and I'm going to let that play out before showing the first game where I beat Bob. And the reason I'm going to let it finish out, for one, it was almost the exact same length as the script for this video, which is an impressively long game, and second which, I still don't feel like I'm particularly good at Junkyard. And I even forgot that this was a top 100 placed rank game when I shot it in October, which is when I started working on these guides, and it's still somewhere around 109th place. Since I probably won't be playing this table for a while again, and I did achieve Junkyard Champion again, I went ahead and changed the initials on the dog collar to someone who I'm probably going to be talking about when we get to Attack from Mars in the Williams Pack 2. And speaking of Attack from Mars, I forgot to mention that the time machine will get locked out once you have completed all of your schematics, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because now it will always bring you into either a main mode or a wizard mode, and the light time machine random award has been replaced with another firework. And while they are interesting, none of those time machine modes are worth anywhere near as much as the main modes. Okay, I think I've killed enough time. The game should be almost over now, and now I'm going to switch over to the game where I beat Bob for the first time. I am the many-talented Mr. Jefferson, and I would like to thank my viewers, my subscribers, my channel members, and all of those of you who have sponsored my channel with donations and games. There is only one more table in the Williams Pack 1, which includes Medieval Madness, Junkyard, and the final table I have to review, High Speed 2, The Getaway, which is one last reference on the Junkyard table, because the super jackpot animation on Junkyard is straight out of The Getaway. But before I put the pedal to the metal, I've just got one more thing to say. Toodles.
Nice shot. Radar adventure. Let's go. Got him. Shoot the yeah. Get the dog away from me. Move it! Those are dangerous. Gentlemen, start your jalopies. Checkpoint 1.
Anybody, got a light? Fireworks collected. Well done, hot shot. Excellent. I'm Crazy Bob, and you're trapped in my junkyard.
Totally cool boss. No way!
Let's get out of here.
Don't listen to her. Who's out there? Try again, sport.
Far out.
Pick something. Now get the TV.
Don't listen to him. Get the hairdryer.
Mamushka. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. 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 Hey, hey, hey. 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 Hey, hey. Hey. That dog will be toast now. Hey. Hey. Pick something.
Great. Now get the TV.
Careful.
Hurry. Let's go.
Totally cool boss.
Extra ball. Got him. Yeah. Got him. Radar assembled. Radar adventure.
Fireworks collected.
Those are dangerous. Yeah! Get away from me! Got him!
Spike, you smell.
Get this dog away from me! Yeah! Great! Now get the bathtub.
Far out.
Great! Now get the bathtub. Got him! Get away from me!
Shoot the dog!
Yeah! Got him!
The Great Jalopy Race.
Just one. Choose one.
Fireworks collected.
Checkpoint 3. Checkpoint 4.
The Great Toilet Adventure.
Air Tactical Combat. Incoming! There's a bogey at 3 o'clock.
Get out and let him slide. All we need now are matches. Out of space! Smash him!
Move it!
You're all right.
You only need one more!
Radar Adventure. Those will be handy.
No way! Totally cool boss!
Hurry! Let's go! Wonderful. Ooh, yeah.
Ba 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 ba. Okay, it's just like